Hi, I'm Nico. This is a gentle yoga flow meant for every single morning if you want to pop up right out of bed and move the body and then sit down for a meditation or whatever your morning ritual is. But we'll get started in a seat. And if it feels good, let's close the eyes, lengthen through the spine, and just see how you're breathing this morning without manipulating the breath whatsoever. Let it flow naturally and organically, but cover it in awareness. Seeing if it feels deep or shallow, easy or sticky, or somewhere in between. Start to notice the pause in between the inhale and the exhale, separating one from the other. See if you can lengthen the spine a little bit more, and then we're going to start to breathe deeply. Start by exhaling all of the air out. Big inhale through the nose to fill up. Find the top and hold. Big exhale out the mouth, let it go. 2 more times just like that. Big inhale through the nose, fill. Hold at the top. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale through the nose, fill. Expand, open. Hold. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hands down by your hips. Maybe open the eyes. And then as we inhale, we'll bring the hands up overhead. Look up to see the hands touch. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the hands out from the shoulders. Take an inhale to reach your wrist back behind you, really lift and open through the heart space. Finding a cow pose, arching the spine. And then as you exhale, bring your right arm on top of the left, around through the spine. Give yourself a hug, really pull your belly button backwards. Holding the elbows, squeeze tight. We're going to lift up through the elbows, lift the heart, lift the chin, arch the spine. And then exhale around, squeeze your elbows to your belly button. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift the elbows up, open. Exhale, bring it in round. This time, inhale, neutralize the spine, bring the hands wide out from the shoulders, really open up through the heart. See if you can stretch through the shoulder blades and the fronts of the arms. And then as you exhale, bring your left elbow on top of your right. Give yourself a hug, squeeze round the spine. Inhale, lift the elbows up, lift up through the chin. Exhale, elbows to the belly button, bring it in. One more time, inhale, bring the elbows up. And exhale, bring them in towards the belly. Inhale, neutralize the spine, reach the arms wide. Hold for the exhale. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. And then as you exhale, dive forward, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, finding a child's pose. One time with the breath, we'll inhale, cow pose, drop the belly, lift the chin, open up through the heart space. Exhale, cat pose, round the spine, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale, find cow pose, drop the belly, lift the chin, open up through the heart. And then as you exhale, find your downward facing dog, press the hips up and back. Keep the knees bent. So that we're really just lengthening through the arms and the spine without getting too much of a hamstring stretch. Keep your hands where they are. Gently walk the feet, little baby footsteps, one at a time. Up to the hands at the front of the mat, finding ragdoll pose, bend the knees deep, feet are hip width distance apart. Bring your hands to opposite elbows, release through the spine, let the neck release. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. As you inhale, upward salute. Root rise, lengthen through the spine as you reach your fingertips up tall. As you exhale, bring hands to heart center, Samastiti. Take a big inhale through the nose to fill. Big exhale out the mouth, let it go. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead, reach tall. Exhale, dive over the hips, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, slide your left foot to the back of the mat, bending into the right knee. Gently drop your left knee all the way down to the mat. Hook your thumbs and then bring them up overhead. For your low crescent, see if you can pull the hands back behind you, opening up through the shoulders. Big inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to pull the hips back, flex the right toes, plant your hands inside of your right leg. You might be on fingertips. And then we're going to keep the right leg straight, swing it all the way back behind us for a three-legged tabletop. Lengthen through the right toes, drop your right hip in line with the left. Big inhale here. Exhale, knee to nose, bring it in. One more, inhale, lengthen, reach. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen, reach. As you exhale, drop your left knee down to meet the right. Bring your left hand up overhead, take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, swoop the left hand to the back of the head. Inhale to lift the left elbow up to the sky, and then exhale, left elbow squeezes towards the right elbow. Two more times just like that. Inhale, lift the left elbow. See if you can really open up through the heart space, and then as you exhale, bring your left elbow towards the right elbow. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it in. This time, inhale, lift the left elbow up, and then reach the left hand towards the sky. Find thread the needle, swoop the left hand underneath the heart space over towards the right. I like to press my hips to my heels when I do this, then reach the right hand forward. Land down into the right hand. Take an inhale, lift the left hand up overhead. And then as you exhale, swoop the left hand forward in front of you. Plant it forward in front of the right hand. Walk the right hand a little farther forward so that your hands are at the front of the mat. Tuck your toes and find your high plank. Lift the knees up off the ground. Holding high plank just for a few deep breaths. Really pulling the shoulders out wide, lengthening through the spine. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, charge the heels forward. Knees up or knees down. We're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Slide your hands forward so that your elbows are directly underneath the shoulders, Sphinx pose. Really press down into the tops of the feet. Press into your forearms, widen through the collarbones and the heart space. Keep pressing into the tops of the feet, really engaging through the entire back body. Squeeze the glutes. Really active Sphinx pose. Breathe deep. Slow release. Let the hands plant outside the heart space. Let the heart space melt down to the ground. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Inhale through your tabletop or high plank. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Pedal through the feet if that feels good. In this downward facing dog, if you want to straighten the legs a little more now that we're a little more warm, you can. We're going to take a big inhale through the nose to fill up. Exhale through the nose to ground down. Inhale through the nose to fill. Big exhale out the mouth, let it go. Inhale, look forward in between the hands. Exhale, walk the feet up to the hands, little baby footsteps. Finding your ragdoll pose, feet are hip width distance, bend the knees deep. As you inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Keep the knees really bent here, and if it feels okay, reach the hands forward. And gently bring the elbows wide, bring the hands to the back of the head. Keep the knees really bent, find chair pose, pull the shoulders on top of the hips. And then we're going to find some cat-cows here. So as we inhale, pull the elbows back, lift up through the heart, find cow. And as you exhale, bring your elbows to your knees, round through the spine, tuck it in. 2 more, inhale, open up, lift. Exhale, squeeze it in. Last one, inhale, open. Exhale, elbows, knees. Inhale, upwards, reach the hands up overhead. 1 time, exhale, cactus the arms open up through the heart. Inhale, reach the hands tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Big inhale through the nose to fill. Big exhale out the mouth, let it go. Inhale, upwards, reach the hands high. Exhale, dive over the hips, forward fold. Take an inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, slide your right foot to the back of the mat, frame your left foot with your hands. Runner's lunge. Gently drop your right knee all the way down to the ground, hook the thumbs. Bring the hands up overhead, low crescent. And then we're going to pull the hips back on top of the right knee. Flex the left toes. Bring your hands inside the left leg underneath the shoulders, maybe on fingertips, and then swing this left leg all the way back behind to our 3-legged tabletop position. Take an inhale to lengthen through the left toes and the crown of the head, and then as you exhale, knee to nose, bring it in. 1 more time, just like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gently drop the left knee all the way down. Meet the right. Inhale, reach your right hand up overhead. Then as you exhale, bring your right hand to the back of your head. Inhale to lift this right elbow really tall up towards the sky. Exhale, right elbow to left elbow, squeeze it in. 2 more times. Inhale, lift, open. Exhale, bring it in. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the right elbow high. Reach the right hand up towards the sky. Thread the needle, swoop the right hand underneath the heart space over towards the left. Drop right shoulder, right ear down to the mat. Maybe reach the left hand forward, maybe hips drop to heels. Bring your shoulders back on the top of your left wrist. Take an inhale to reach the right hand high. And then as you exhale, we're going to walk the right hand forward, continuing to walk the hands forward so that when we tuck the toes and lift the knees, we're in our high plank. A couple breaths here. Charge the heels forward, lower all the way down to the mat. 3 rolling cobra poses, flip to the tops of the feet, inhale cobra, little to no weight in the hands for the first one. Exhale, release, let it go. 2 more times with the breath, inhale cobra lift. Maybe you press into the hands a little more. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale cobra, full expression, pull the shoulders and elbows back behind. Exhale, bring it down. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Inhale through your tabletop. And then exhale, child's pose, knees wide, hips to heels. Option to stay right here if this feels good, or we'll take it into a couple heart openers. So walk the hands back towards the knees so that you're coming to sit on your heels. And we'll start by bringing the right hand back behind the right hip. We'll lift the left hand up towards the sky. And then press into the feet and the right hand, lift the hips up, open up through the heart space. Really reach your left fingertips away from your left knee. Big stretch through the left quad. Breathe. Drop the hips down. Bring the hands to the knees. 2 big breaths. Switching out sides, we'll bring the left hand back behind the left hip. Right hand goes up overhead, reach tall. Press the hips up towards the sky. Reach right fingertips away from the right knee. Really lengthen. And release, drop the hips. Bring both hands to heart this time. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth as you slide the hands forward. Child's pose. Inhale to your tabletop. Bring your shoulders on top of the wrists. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. 3-legged dog. Right leg goes up high into the sky. Runner's lunge. Bring the right foot forward and slide the right hand. Finding warrior one, we'll set the left heel down. Left toes are at a 45-degree angle. Hip width distance stance with the feet. Really find it in the feet first. And then bring the hands up overhead. One time with the breath, we'll take a big inhale, lengthen through the fingertips, and then as you exhale, cactus the arms, open up through the heart. Inhale, reach the hands up overhead. And then as you exhale, same thing, but bring the hands all the way down. Interlace the fingers at the low back. And we're going to pull the fingers over towards the right hip. So the fingers should be interlaced, but left hand should be on the outside of your right hip. And then drop your right ear down to your right shoulder. And start to move your head around, finding that sticky place in the neck that tends to build as we sleep. Maybe you move the neck around, maybe you find that one spot where it wants to hang out. Bring the head up through center. Keep the hands interlaced, but bring them to the lower back. Take an inhale to slide the hands down the back of the left leg, lift up through the heart. And then as you exhale, find your humble warrior, drop the heart space down towards the right thigh. Maybe the hands go up overhead. Keep pulling your right hip back. Bring the fingers down to the lower back. Let them swipe the ground as you bring them all the way back up overhead. Finding star pose. Open up to the side of the mat. Bringing toes out, heels in, setting us up for goddess. Knees go wide. And I like to bring my hands or my elbows inside my knees for my first goddess pose of a practice, just to find the hips a little bit. And slowly bring the shoulders on top of the hips. And then we'll bring the hands into eagle arms, and we'll bring right elbow on top of the left. Take a big inhale to lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, drop your fingers to the left, to the back, all the way down through center. And then as you inhale, we're going to lift the left heel, spin the left knee in, finding high lunge crescent with eagle arms. Take an inhale to lift the elbows up high. Exhale, bring the spine to neutral, bring the elbows back down in line with the heart. Release the hands, bring them all the way up overhead. As you exhale, devotional lunge, bring it all the way down to the ground. Half splits, pull the hips back, flex the right toes. Let the heart space release down towards the right knee. Just like we did earlier, we're going to keep the left hand inside the right leg, but bring the right hand inside the right leg as well. Bring the straight leg all the way around and back, tucking the right knee behind the left so that the legs are crossed, and then press your hips to your heels, finding a gentle hip stretch here. Gently bring your shoulders back up on top of your wrists. And cross your right knee from behind the left, kick it over towards the right. Gently drop the inside edge of the right foot down to the ground. Kick your toes underneath your left foot. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart space, lift the chin. And as you exhale, press the hips up and back, finding awkward downward facing dog. Run down into the hands on your left foot. See if you can shift your weight into the left foot. Bringing the right leg all the way up. Scorpion pose. Stack the right hip on top of the left. Open up. Lizard lunge. Bring the right foot outside of the right hand. Keeping this left knee up or dropping it down to the ground. Maybe you stay on hands. Maybe you release down to the forearms. Replant into the hands if you can onto the forearms. Tuck your left toes underneath your left foot. Lift your left knee. Bring your right foot all the way back. Find your high plank. Option to go through cobra if you prefer. If you want upward facing, we'll charge the heels forward. Exhale, come halfway down. Inhale through upward facing dog, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale to ground down. Inhale to fill. Big exhale out the mouth, let it go. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg goes high. Runner's lunge, bring the left foot forward, plant it inside the left hand. Set up for warrior one, spin the right heel down, right toes at 45. Really find it in the feet, find the balance in the legs. Then bring the hands up overhead, reaching tall. One time, inhale, lift the fingertips. As you exhale, cactus the arms open up through the heart. Inhale, reach the hands up overhead. And then as you exhale, cactus the arms, but bring them all the way down to interlace at the lower back. Bring your hands over towards your left hip this time, so the outside of your right hand should be on your left hip. Drop your left ear down to your left shoulder. Option to keep it in one place or start to roll the chin around, finding that sticky spot in the neck that needs some extra love. Bring your head up through center. Bring your hands back to center. Slide your hands down the back of your right leg. Lift up through the heart space. Humble warrior. Let the heart space melt down towards your left thigh. Maybe the hands go up overhead. Keep spinning your left hip back, squaring off the hips towards the front. Bring the hands to the lower back. Let them swipe the ground as they come up overhead, all the way into star pose. This time, let's spin the toes to face the side of the mat. Find wide-legged forward fold. Let the heart space release down. 5 to 6 breaths here, yogi's choice. Do whatever feels good for you. If you feel like getting inverted this morning, you could find headstand. Sometimes it's nice to bring the head underneath the heart in the mornings. And then we'll find a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Bring the hands to the hips. Pull the shoulders all the way on top of the hips. Goddess pose, toes out, heels in, sit low. And then we'll find eagle arms, left elbow on top of the right. Take an inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, drop the hands right to the back, all the way down through center. And then as you inhale, spin your right knee in, lift up through the arms, keep the eagle arms. Take an inhale to lift the elbows tall. Exhale, drop the elbows back down in line with the heart space. Inhale, release the hands, bring them up overhead. Exhale, devotional lunge, cactus the arms, bend the knees all the way down. Open up through the heart. Half splits, pull the hips back. Flex the left toes, find a gentle hamstring stretch. Same thing as earlier, we'll bring both hands inside the left leg. Bring the left leg all the way around and back, three-legged tabletop. This time stack the left knee behind the right, finding that gentle hip stretch. Press your hips towards your heels as you reach the hands forward. Bring your shoulders on top of your wrists, coming onto the knees. Uncross the left knee from back behind the right, kick the left foot over towards the left, inside edge of the foot drops down. Take an inhale to drop the belly, lift the chin, tuck the right toes. Then as you exhale, awkward downward facing dog, press the hips up and back, stretching through the right side body. See if you can move your weight to your right foot, swing this left leg all the way up and around, scorpion pose, open up through the front of the left hip. Lizard lunge, bring the left foot forward, outside the left hand. And then take it however you want it. Maybe you want to drop the right knee. Maybe you want to come down onto the forearms. Maybe you want to press into this left knee to really open up through your left hip. And we'll plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck your right toes underneath your right foot. Lift your right knee. This time we'll find Malasana, so bring your right foot forward to meet the left. Sit the hips low in between the heels, and maybe you sit on a block or some books or a pillow. We're only here for a few breaths. And then we'll find a seat. Bring in the feet in front of us, lower all the way down to the back. And then for my favorite supine twist, we'll keep the knees bent, but bring your right knee on top of the left. And then I use my left foot to scoot my hips over to the right. And then I drop my knees to the left. Supine twist with that cross legs. And if having the legs crossed doesn't feel good for you, you can simply unravel them and just let the knees drop over towards the left. But sometimes this feels like a really good hip opening twist for me. Bring the knees up through center, unravel the legs. Maybe take a gentle bridge pose, lifting the hips up. And then we'll find supine twist other side, drop the hips. This time left knee stacks on top of the right. Scoot the hips left to let the knees drop to the right. Bring the knees up through center and cross the legs. Again, maybe you take a really gentle bridge pose to release the hips. And then lower the hips all the way down. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a good squeeze, a hug, and gratitude and appreciation for being you. And then we'll release. Shavasana pose. Maybe you choose to end in a seated meditation. Start a timer for 15 or 20 minutes and let yourself sit to start your morning in mindfulness. Or lay here in Shavasana, letting gravity melt you down into the earth. We'll take one last final breath to close off practice together. Take a big inhale through your nose to fill up, lift up, open up, let it all in. Big exhale out the mouth, let it all go. If you have the gift of time this morning, I encourage you to stay here a little bit longer. If you need to get out, let's start by breathing deep, finding movement in the fingers and the toes, eventually making your way into a full body stretch. Reach the hands up overhead. Bring the knees into the chest. And then find a seat, however feels best for you. Closing off practice and a bow to yourself. Thank you so much for practicing with me. As always, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or requests. And I hope to see you on here again soon. Namaste.